Hello everyone, this is Undead Viking here with another video review for you. The game that I am going to be reviewing, I don't have a box for because it's in Kickstarter right now, but I'll hold up a card that says the name. Alchemy is the name of the game, if you can read that right there. Alchemy is a quick little card game that is designed for 3 to 5 people, in which each person is an alchemist who is attempting to race the other alchemists in the completion of potions. You do this by using cards to gather resources, the different 4 elements of earth, air, wind, and fire. Pretty good band too, by the way. But you use those and you collect those, and then you create these potions, and then you're able to use those potions, but you don't really want to use them too much unless, because like the potions are actually the points, and the more you use them, the less points they're worth. And there's all kinds of little cool little tricks and actions you do. Plus, there's a lot of take that stuff too, and I do enjoy a good game that allows me to mess with people. And so there's definitely some card play that allows you to mess with the other players. But I'll show all that when I do my gameplay, obviously. So I do know this game is in Kickstarter right now, and I do know it has been funded. So the designer contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in taking a look at the game and seeing if it was something that I would back. And I've played it now several times with both my family and friends, and I've enjoyed it a lot. So I'm going to show you how to play, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And as always, somewhere along the line, hopefully you'll figure out whether or not this is a game that you want to add to your collection, and so you'll be able to play it once it is published. So, without any wait, I'm going to show you now how to play Alchemy. I don't have a box. I feel bad. I'm sorry. Right. See you back here when I tell you what I think. But now you'll see my hands. You know what I mean. Alright, this is the starting setup for a 4-player game of Alchemy. I just have, each player will have these 2 items in front of them. They never really get rid of these. One of them is your cauldron. Your cauldron is where you keep all of your volatile material, which are these 4 elements. This will be earth, air, fire, and water. And this is your vial, where you will be placing your elements. And you notice there's the 4 spots there for you to place your elements into the vial. Alright, so you put potion recipes out here. On the backs of these cards there's potion recipes, and I'll show them to you in just a second here. But you place 2 of them for each player. And this is a 4-player game, so then there's 8 of them out there. And the first thing we do is that each person will get 4 of these alchemy cards. Now, alchemy cards will either be like an equipment, which is like spare tools. You get to draw an extra card every turn. Or they can be an action. And some actions are to hurt other people. So like this is a distract. On an opponent's next turn, they cannot use equipment and must choose to do only one of the following: pour, transmute, or so you're limiting actions. And I'll explain all those actions here in just a little bit. Or there'll be an action that will allow you to do something else, like swap an element from your pour vial with an element in your cauldron, like a skim action. So you can swap things out, or perhaps you can have there's other ones that, I should show you this as well. There are ones in there that allow you to dodge attacks on you. So you can place at any time, you earn an action or equipment effect. On your next turn, you do not draw a card. So it doesn't, you can dodge an effect, but it comes with a price. You can't draw new cards. But, so like here, here's a card that says concentrate as an action. When you pour from your cauldron into your vial, you may add an additional element to your vial from your cauldron as long as both elements are the same. So some actions are to hurt other people, and then some of these cards will give you the ability to defend yourself, and still others allow you to just kind of break the rules. Like lots of games like this, you have different cards that allow you to break the rules and kind of do things alternatively. And so here, like, here's like a draw 4 cards. And so there we go. We have 4 cards to begin with. We didn't get any equipment, but we have a dodge. That's good. Distracts, we can attack somebody. Spill, we can attack somebody. And forge, put any one element directly in your cauldron. That's a pretty good card. We'll keep that handy. So you put those 4 cards, and you have those ready to go. So on your turn, you flip over 2 of these potions. Now, eventually all of them will be flipped over and they'll stay over. And plus, there are different cards and abilities that allow you to take more potions out of the deck and add them out here. And it's important to note that the potions are actually the timer in the game. Once all the potions are made, the game is over. So you turn over the 2 cards. So let's just turn over 2, and then I'll give you a close-up look here. So, like, here's a potion of chromatic shift. Name 2 elements. Okay, this just whatever. And this is the ability that the potion has once it's done. And these are the different things that you need to make the potion. So obviously, as you can see, it needs 1 element of each kind. It says name 2 elements, swap all instances of each with the other. So all water becomes fire, things like that. So if you use the potion, you'll take that effect. And like here's another potion. It says invulnerability. Until your next turn, opponent's actions, potions, and equipment do not affect you. So you can see it's 2 earth and 2 water to build that. Anyway, so we turn over the 2 potions. So we've taken care of that part of the turn. Now actually, there's 2 parts of a turn. And part of it is like a set, like actions that you have to do as the turn progresses, and then there's also other things that you can do that you can use at any time. So I'm going to explain the things you can do at any time, and remember that these things are things that you can do at any time during your turn. So on your turn, you can create a potion if you have the right ingredients. On like so, say I wanted to make that thing. If I had 2 earth and 2 water sitting in my vial, I could say, bam, I'm going to make that potion. And I would take the potion out of there, I'd put it in my play area, and I'd transfer all my ingredients that I used to make that potion onto the potion. Now that's very important because at the end of the game, you score points for every element that you still have on the potion cards that you created. And you take one of these off if you decide you're going to use the potion. So as you use the potion, you get great benefits, but you also are taking away the points that you have at the end of the game. So remember, so at any point during your turn, when you're taking your turn, if you have the right concoction available to make a potion, you can then just create a potion. You could also empty your vial. Now you might say, why would I empty my vial? Well, let's just say like you had, these in there or something like that, and you were building up to a potion, but somebody else beats it. So you can't just replace stuff. You have to clean out your entire vial. So you'll like empty out your vial of everything that's in it, so you can start fresh and you can go after a different potion. You can play an action card, which is just like that. Remember, you can only do it once, though. You can take one of your cards and play an action. You can play an equipment card, same deal. You just take a piece of equipment. You can only have one piece of equipment at any one time. So if you want to play another equipment card, you have to destroy the equipment that you have and replace it. Equipment that you just made is immediately available for you to use. So it isn't like you place it and then next turn you can use it. You can use it immediately. And you can drink a potion. And I already explained that. You can do that at any time during your turn. You just drink a potion. And then you can do that. But it's important to note that you can only play, like I said, one action card, one equipment card, or drink a potion once during your turn. So that's good. Just so you know. Okay, so the first turn, each person will be flipping 2 of these potion cards over. That's so until then, obviously they'll all be flipped over and you won't have to do it anymore. So the first thing you do on your turn, after you've done that, is you reveal 4 component cards, and these are the different cards that you're going to use that are going to allow you to get the potion pieces, if you will. And so these cards will have just a name of the item and then what it is. So it's soapstone, and it has air and earth on it. So these are the different elements that you have. And you turn 4 of these over. So here we have silver, which has 2 air We have copper that has 2 water. And we have brimstone that has earth and fire. So, on your turn, then after you've done that, you draw, and which means you get 2 new alchemy cards. We draw 2 new alchemy cards. We'll check this out here. See what we got. Alright, we got another dodge, which is never a bad idea. And rush. Ooh, draw 4 cards. You may play 1 extra action. That's a pretty good action card. We're probably going to use that right away. So you then would have to transmute, which means you're going to be taking one of these and taking the poker chips in this case, but you're going to be taking the ingredients and placing them in your cauldron. But like I said, we just got this really good card. We got rush, which allows us to draw 4 cards, and then you have 1 extra action. So I'm going to play that, and I'm going to draw 4 new cards. Let's see what we get here. All right, skim. I showed that earlier, but swap an element for your vial with an element in your cauldron. Good. Ooh, we got a piece of equipment. A scale. Whenever you transmute, you may take an extra counter of the same type as one of the first 2. Well, sweet. We're gonna play that, and so now I have a scale. And steal. Look at an opponent's hand. Take 1 card. That was nice. Transmute. Transmute an extra component this turn. So, all right. So we've played an equipment. That was the only equipment we had. But remember, we still have an action. That is not, when we played an equipment, that is not an action. That's an entirely separate thing. So I get another action. So I'm going to probably take, since this one takes 2 earth and 2 water, and that's 1 of each. But I like the invulnerability better than the chromatic shift. So I'm going to try to get, I'm going to go for the water. So I'm going to need 2 water. But I noticed that there's no other way to get water out there right now. So I'm going to take that. But since we have these other actions, I definitely should see, I don't want to attack anybody right now, because it's always wise not to attack somebody right away, because that just, it makes you out to be the instigator. So, but I do have this that allows me to transmute an extra component this turn. So I'm going to take that. So I get an extra action, we're going to do that. So this one is we're going to take this, which, copper. So I transmute that, put that over the discard. So I take 2 and I put those in there like that. And I get to take another one. And I need 2 earth. And I can either take this one that says earth and fire, or the soapstone that's air and earth. Well, there's no other fire out there, and there's two air out there, so I'm going to take this one. So it gives me earth and fire. So I'm going to take these 2. I'm going to put those in my cauldron as well. So now I've taken that, and next turn somebody will get to refill those empty spaces, and then they go. But now I can pour, which is, you can take 1 element from your counter and your cauldron and put it onto your vial. Now, the interesting thing is there's lots of cards out there and equipment that allow you to actually pour more, but right now I can only do 1. So let's take 1 of my water and put it in my vial. And so now I am, literally 1/4 of the way to getting that potion done. And finally, at the end of my turn, I have to discard 4 down to 4 cards, so I can only have a hand of 4. So I got a lot of attack cards. Let's take the attack cards, put them aside. Spill and steal. I like forge. I want that. I like skim to be able to, and I like a dodge. So just keep 1 of these. Distract is pretty powerful, because it really inhibits people's what they can do. So I'm going to take that one. So I'm going to take these 2, and I'm going to put those in the discard pile. And now I'm done. I'm off to a great start. I've got a bunch of pieces. I've got 3 of the 4 pieces I need for the invulnerability potion. Who knows what other potions are going to come over in the next round. And I've also set myself up pretty well right away, and I'm just going to wait and see what happens. So the next person would go, and they'll flip 2 over. So we have Jungle Juice, And I do like the Jungle Juice action. It says you target player and skips their next turn. So you can just force somebody to skip their turn, which is way powerful. And like, here's love. And target player puts an element you name from their cauldron or vial into your cauldron, because you're casting a love potion on them. So, and then the person would fill this back up. So we get lead, which is 2 earth, and aqua vitae, I probably mispronounced that, but it's just fire and water. And the game progresses like this until finally all the potions, including potions that you may have added from this deck, are created. Then each person then looks and sees how many potions they created, and they compare the number of the ingredients they still have on the potion counters. Whoever has the most of those is declared the winner of Alchemy. It's a very, very fast playing game, and once people start getting closer and closer to winning, you have lots of fun little antics between the two players, like trying to make them skip turns and things like that, or attacking them and like taking their actions away from them, like what the distract card does. And so there's a lot going on, as far as the game, and and it's even though it never really feels chaotic, though. I mean, everything really flows well, and turns flow well, and this isn't like a super heavy game, but it definitely has a lot of cool little twists and turns, and it's definitely been enjoyable for everybody that I played it with, anyway. So, but let me tell you more about that when I get to the conclusion. Alright, there you go. That's how you play Alchemy. It's not all that tough, actually. And which is going to segue a little bit into what I'm going to talk about right now. Is that this is what I would call this a kind of a gateway game. I mean, it's really light. I mean, as far as how to play the game, and as far as the interlocking mechanics and what have you. I mean, it's pretty standard. As far as, collecting, the necessary ingredients that you need, and then, kind of cultivating that for a turn or so, and then, turning around and, then using that to collect a potion eventually after you've gotten the right, pieces. I mean, there's definitely some cool choices that you have to make as far as, am I going to play my action card to hurt somebody right now, or am I going to play an action card to help me? The fact that you only have one piece of equipment, and so you can kind of, have a piece of equipment, then eventually, it's kind of worn out its usefulness, and so, you want to swap, or, and so there's some tough decisions as far as that goes. But, I mean, the most fun part of the game really is the race to get those potions done. And the things that you can do to kind of put little clever turns together for yourself that allow you to, get closer to that goal. And also the ability that you have to mess with other people. And I really like the part with the finished potion. Once you have a finished potion in front of you, and those powers that they have are pretty potent. And they're very, very, as far as the timing goes and everything like that, you can really mess with people a lot with those. And I really like that, because you have a nice point there where you have to weigh, taking away a point, basically, because you're taking an ingredient off of that finished potion. But also, how much is it going to hurt? Is it worth it at this point? And strangely, it seems like, obviously, as you kind of have more and more people, a lot of times those potions, they affect everybody. And so when you're playing a 5-person game, they're really, really powerful. Not that, so the different number of players actually can come into play a lot. Now, it is for 3, 4, or 5. I played it with all different kinds, 3, 4, and 5, and it is fun regardless. And I've had fun playing it with all numbers. I did have a great deal of fun actually playing this game with my daughter and my wife. And I was a little bit worried because, Rylan is 6 and she's just learning how to read. And that's something really cool. I mean, not to sidetrack too much, but it's so cool now, I'll be in a going to pick up groceries or something, and she'll see something and she'll read it off to me, and she'll say, "What does that mean?" And she'll read off the word. I think that's so cool, watching my daughter learn how to read. But so I was a little bit worried, as far as her being able to grasp the words and everything like that, especially with the different font and everything. But she grasped it pretty quickly, and she also really, really quickly caught on to the whole having to match the different resources to the different potions. And she's a really big fan of like the Harry Potter movies, and so she really enjoyed this, and she liked the idea of being a wizard, and she liked the idea of being in a laboratory, if you will. So like I said, it is a lighter game. I mean, so if you're looking for a really heavy game experience, you're not going to get it out of this. But this is a game that I busted out for my non-gamer friends, and this is a game that I've taken to work, and I played with my non-gamer friends at work, and they've all had a really good time with it. I mean, because it isn't something that you're gonna have to focus your entire brain on. You can have your sandwich and your soda, and you can just kind of relax for your lunch hour and play a game like this. And I really like it for that regard. Not every game has to be big and crunchy and tough. I can definitely play something that just in a setting where the game isn't the focus, it's the people that are the focus, and this game fits it perfectly. And I would even say this really steps into the whole gateway game type of thing. This is definitely a game that you'd show to people, and they'd be like, wow, I've never played a game like this. And we've all had that experience where we first had our eyes opened to designer board games, designer card games, and I definitely think this game fits the bill for that as well. So there you go. I mean, that's Alchemy. I mean, if you're looking for a game that plays quickly and can handle a large number of people, I mean, 5, there's not a lot of quick games that play with 5. And you can deal with, a little bit of the take that attitude where you're going after people and messing with them on purpose. I think you really like this. Like I said, it's already funded, and you can get in on the ground floor. I think it's like $25. It's and that's shipped, and once it's published, and you'll get the thing. And I've seen this. The art, obviously, I said this when I explained the thing, but the art, from what I understand, is changing slightly. And I'd advise you to go over and check out the Kickstarter link, and then and you can see what they've got there, and you also check out the game link on the Board Game Geek as well, and you can check out the artwork and the direction that the components are going to look like. So there you go. So thank you very much, as always, for taking the time to watch this video. The game that I just got done reviewing was Alchemy, and if you have any questions or concerns, by all means post those, and I'll be happy to answer those to the best of my ability, and I'm pretty darn certain that the designer of the game will be more than happy to answer them as well. So until next time, thank you again for watching this video, and until then, you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.